Yo, press record. What's up? You're listening to Zero to X, and my name is Daniel. And today, as always,
Hey guys, it's Amara on the show.
what's up? What's up? What's up?
I'm doing very well.
Amara, we don't say how was your week anymore, man.
Yeah,
How was your week? Let's repeat.
it was.
Lol.
So when January was still shooting podcast episodes, and I am still yet to level everything
Yeah.
and strike a perfect balance to the degree that I would love. So it has been an interesting week, a very eventful week, packed with a whole lot of things to do.
I feel like the most important part of that the eventful is the eventful.
A lot of events.
Oh my god, I can
A lot
imagine
of
that.
events.
You can imagine that.
So, quick question: has the fear of failure ever crossed your mind? Has the fear of not meeting your full potential ever crossed your mind? Or is it something you battle?
I have cried, I think, 4 times in my adult life. 3 of them was because I felt I was failing my family.
Wow.
3 times was because I'm not going to tell you the other ones, you can guess. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. Okay.
Moving on.
But 3 times, I've cried 4 times. 3 times was because I felt I was failing my family. I still feel that way. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, again, I will always say there have been some tiny humble wins that I've had in like the past 2, 3, 4 years, and I'm grateful to God and for everyone who's given me an opportunity. And in some degree, I've put in the work and I've grown. But that feeling still gnaws at me. It really gnaws at me because, and in some way, it feels like. So I was telling my assistant, I was telling Osama some days ago that when you see a really driven person, it's either that person is chasing something or something is chasing them.
Word.
It's one of the two. So without fail, the number of times people have told me, Daniel rests. Daniel doesn't rest. Or something along those lines.
Yeah.
It's like
I hear it when I'm around you.
It's a lot. But again and again, like it ties into like there's so many things that go into that. I'm sleeping now. It's not as if I wasn't sleeping before, but
we get you.
Yeah, you get me. Yeah. But I'm sleeping now. I'm sleeping better. I'm sleeping more consistently because, again, we need to talk about rest and health.
We do
very soon because people really undermine it. It'll be like hustle culture.
Yeah.
Hustle culture. Back to the point.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like a really big part of why I work as hard as I work is I don't want to fail, man. And my definition of failure is very high. Like, some people will think it's unreasonable. I tell people if I die a multimillionaire in dollars, I fuck up. Like, if I end up with all I made in this life is $9,999 million, I messed up. I know what it seems I'm capable of. And not meeting that is a very legit, I would say, fear. I would actually say fear. Not meeting that. It's one of the things that drives me the most to work as hard as I work. Now I'm trying to, like we said in the previous episode, like I'm trying to figure out the discipline part of the equation of the recipe for success.
Yeah.
Because I needed the most. I found out like right now is what I need the most. It's what seems to be missing. The smarts are there. The work ethic is there. Yeah, like all of these other things that could make for it are there.
Yeah.
The resources to learn out there. The will to want to do it is there. But it's just the discipline to like make sure like everything is in a system that is delivering. That's where I am in my phase of life right now. But yeah, it is there.
Interesting.
It is so there, man. Like that fear of failure, that fear of not fulfilling your potential. Like I've said this so many times by now. You're probably that I want to die empty.
Yeah.
I don't want to be known as that guy with potential. At what age? That's cute when you're 12. It's cute when you're 14. Okay, 18, not so bad. 25, what? Still potential.
Well, Well, we can make an argument that 25 is still reasonable.
It is. Again, like I said,
And
we always say
still
this thing.
nuanced.
It's nuanced. You know what I was going to say?
Yeah.
It's incredibly nuanced, but for me, yeah, like I said, my definitions of what success is and what failure is, a lot of people might not be able to, like, it might not be a lot of people's standards, and like that's fine.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
absolutely fine.
because again, there are late starts. There are people that might wander through life and they not really figure out things until much later, and then that's fine.
Yeah,
that's really fine for them. Do you understand
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say? And again, the older I get, I maybe get a little bit more wisdom on what success should really look like. So if there are things that I'm constantly changing or redefining what success is for me, what failure is for me. So that's still a journey, and I want to see where it goes.
Yeah.
But where I am in my life right now, like the standards I've told you right now, hold true as of today. Yeah. So the fear of not fulfilling my potential is a very legit fear.
What do you do about it?
What do I do about it? I work, man. But then that's the thing. The work. Right now, I'm trying to make the work more purposeful than compensatory. So what I mean by that is I'm compensating for the fact that I think I'm messing up so bad by just drowning myself in work.
That's a lot to unpack.
It's a lot to unpack. Like this is probably the most open or vulnerable you would see me, like really. And again, it's not like I'm hiding these things. Like nobody's asking. You understand what I'm trying to say? But I work as hard as I work because I want to try to do everything. And see, guys, let me tell you something. Maybe I will help you help that person in your life that you are thinking, you're hearing my story, and you're thinking, oh, this person is so much like Daniel. You will probably never really understand what they're going through. I promise you. You will tell them you appreciate them. They should learn to appreciate themselves. Slow down. They will smile at you and say, okay. But they won't listen. You can't convince them. Like the best you can do for someone like that is be a support. Is to be a support to that person, encourage the person through all of that. Because no matter how much, oh, you're doing too much, like learn to smell the roses.
So
the person doesn't really care about the roses, man. I promise you. Like she might take a moment to acknowledge that, oh, I'm doing something really cool here. But it's on to the next one almost as quick. Almost as quick.
So this brings me to my next question. When do you appreciate the wins? At what point do you look at your achievements and give yourself a pat on the back relative to what you are chasing?
Immediately, these days, it's two different stories. Before, I never really used to.
Okay.
Because I always felt like I'm capable of so much more. Like I appreciate the fact that it happened. I know there might be other people that might struggle, so I'm not insensitive to that. Yeah. But like I'm capable of so much more. So it is not as big a result enough for me to warrant me wanting to go all ballistic celebration. Like it's not just as big a result just yet.
So what's big enough?
More. That question, but more recently, so that was me before.
Okay.
That was last year. That was 6 months ago. That was a year ago.
Okay.
But right now, immediately it happens. The moment something really good happens, or something that everybody would definitely determine, like would say as good, happens. Yeah, like okay, this is pretty cool. But I don't want to lose that edge. I think that is what drives it's what drives, I don't want to say the craziest or the most insane people who want to do the things that they do. Like in terms of like innovation, improvement, advancement.
Yeah.
There are people that just have to blaze that trail, man. And maybe I am part of them, maybe I'm not, but we're still trying to figure that out. Yeah. But I don't want to lose that edge. I like the edge.
Oh, you do?
I like the edge of, okay, on to the next one. And like again, I understand that this is very
your views are very strong.
They're very. And again, I must say, this isn't for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
This isn't for everyone. I know two guys around me that I'm seeing that they are going through the things I was going through. Yeah, when I was younger, when a little earlier in my journey, and I'm like, I'm showing them the things to miss. Like, don't avoid going down this road. I've been there.
Yeah.
You don't need to. Do you understand? Because they are exactly like me in my psyche of how I think about, oh, you can do so many things. And I think generally this is a problem that multi-talented people face. The moment you can do so many things well, I was like, which one do you do? Oh, I want to do them all. Then some wise person comes and tells you to focus. Ha. But I can do everything. And then for some people, this is how it works for some people. Some people will now actually take the advice to focus and win big.
Yeah, agreed.
And win big. Some will still do coconut head. Yeah?
Yeah.
And some might still win, but it's like there will be that struggle of, it's like, it's a whole different thing. And sometimes it only makes sense in your mind, but saying it out loud, it might not make as much sense to other people. So if you are, I wish it was video so you could see me turning towards the camera. Like, if you are going through this, trust me, there is someone somewhere, me, Daniel, that understands what it's like.
Okay. So what do you recommend for people who might also be battling the fear of failure or the fear of not fulfilling their potential? Do you think it's something that they should use as an edge, like you said, or do you think it's something that they should find a way to resolve? Do you think it pushes everybody?
It paralyzes some people. It absolutely stops them. It stopped me. Sometime last year, I told Amara this. There's an idea that I'd had for such a long time. It was big. It was stupid big, man. I told Amara about it. Amara's already like, I remember. And I told him, yeah, I think I'm going to try to get this thing done by December. Amara said, okay, because like Amara and I have this shared thing of nothing is really too big for us to do. Yeah. That's how Amara and I are. So I was like, guys, if you want this thing before December, I was like, let's see. Immediately after that conversation, like, bro, for the next 6 weeks, I couldn't do anything. It was given, what I was feeling in that moment is, because I needed to, like,
I think I can relate to this.
To do that, to do something that big, I was like, okay, I'm doing these things in my life right now. What is it going to take? What am I going to free up the time to, like, attend to this? And
something needs to give.
This in itself is a really big thing. Yeah. And probably no cap, I could sell this thing 5-10 years for a couple hundreds of millions of dollars, or translate it into something incredible. Yeah, I was seeing the potential for what this thing could be, and I was like, okay. And then for the next 6 weeks, blank. It paralyzed me. At that point in time, it was like, you know when you're climbing a mountain and you don't look down. You just keep going, and like that's how people like that may share similarities to my psyche work. We just keep going. Again, because we don't stop to we don't stop to really, really smell the roses as much as maybe other people will. We just keep going. We just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. And you've not looked down, but you're just going. And you're enjoying the going because all you're doing is going. Yeah. In fact, guy, and this might be a help for someone. The way to do hard things is just to not quit. Yes. You can pause, but don't quit. Keep going. Keep going and you will go. Yeah. Keep going and you will move. So because you're just going, excuse me, you're just going, just going, just going, just going. And then maybe one time, and it's like you don't really feel tiredness because adrenaline is going. Like, you're just going. And then one time, you just mistakenly look down. And you're like, what and why? What the hell am I doing? Why am I doing this? These were the questions in my head at that point in time. Why? I like working hard, man. I love, because I'm not working hard for the sake of working hard. I love the process of building things. I've already said this before. I'm fundamentally a creator. I am blessed. I'm fortunate to have discovered that about myself. Yeah. I like building things. And building things takes time. Yes. And the things I like to build are big.
Takes more time.
So it takes even more time. So I'm not trying to work hard to prove that I'm macho. It's just what I want to do just needs this amount of work. If it didn't need as much, it's fine. But I chose to do this. This is like my own multiplier. I chose to do this. I'm not necessarily doing online internet business models will tell you, okay, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours a day. And that's the truth for them. Yeah. It's the truth. Mine takes a lot longer than that. In fact, I'm doing multiple things, so it even takes a little longer. Yeah. Do you understand? So, but it's my choice. That's what makes me feel fulfilled. Okay. So it's like, you're just doing and doing and doing. And in those 6 weeks, I just looked down and I was like, nobody should be like, what and why? Those were the two questions in my head. In fact, recently I saw, and one of my biggest role models in some way, in a lot of ways actually, I really like him as a person and like what he's been able to do, Elon Musk. Like he's like a childhood hero to me, just that I didn't know in my childhood. But that's how I feel about Elon Musk. Do you understand? Like literally, he's self-taught in a lot of the things that he's doing. I'm self-taught in a lot of things that I'm doing. I like to read. He likes to read. You understand? So there are some parallels, and I see like he likes building things. He's literally enforcing his will on the entire mankind. Like we must become an interplanetary species. I can appreciate the level of work. He started off in finance, like with building PayPal and what. Yeah. So and I'm starting off in a similar credit finance space. So it's like there are so many parallels, and I didn't really realize these details, but I was like, I just liked him. I liked his story, even before he became the richest man in the world, when he was still on like $20 billion or something. I liked him since then. Like I just liked that he was a hard worker and he was building stuff, and it was daring, crazy things that nobody knew if they would work or not. Electric cars, nobody knew if it was going to work.
Hyperloop.
Commercial space travel and all of that jazz. Nobody really knew it was going to work. He was taking gigantic risks, standing alone in the rain, literally. And I remember sometime, I think it was I saw an interview or a clip of an interview, and you know that there is this popular motivational video like you gotta work 80 to 100-hour work weeks every week, and it's Elon Musk that says that all the time. I now realized that almost a typical work week is 40 hours, so he's telling me to work twice that much minimum to get to where he is. Did you? Do you understand? So people, if you're not careful, you just run with that. But then I saw an interview that he did. Yeah. And it was two guys that were interviewing him, and they talked about like that time at Tesla. I think Tesla was about to go bankrupt or something. And he said he was putting in 120 hours of work every week. A lot of Tesla's staff too were probably doing the same or like almost similar.
Yeah.
And they were like single digit weeks from bankruptcy at that point in time, if I remember the facts of the story well. And it was like people think like that's macho. And in that interview, I saw his eyes. It was like, it hurts my head. It hurts my heart. Nobody should have to do this. Nobody should have to work this hard. But it was like, if he didn't do it, Tesla would have gone under then. If he didn't pay that price, then, and again, he wasn't really conscious of the fact that he was paying that price. When your company is about to go bankrupt, you will lose sleep. So whatever extra chemicals in his body, whatever extra hormones were released, probably aided, and naturally he's a hard worker, probably aided him being able to work as much, those long hours. Like, it was not a thing to sustainably do. Do you understand? It's not a thing to sustainably do. So it's a thing where I saw his eyes. And I don't know how many people will see that interview. They will just be seeing the work 80 to 100-hour work weeks every week.
Yeah.
But they won't see that part when it's like, nobody should do this. Like, it hurts my head. It hurts my heart thinking about it. No, but why? So in that 6 weeks, that's how I felt. And it took a lot to pick myself back up and get on my grind. It took a lot. So I don't know that I didn't answer your question, man. I just went into like a lot of things. I went into a lot of things, man.
I feel like you need to get it off your chest.
Well, I kind of have. I think I'm doing this for the people that don't know how to explain this feeling. I'm a little more self-aware than most, I think. So there are people that might be going through what I'm going through and not understand how to explain it to someone else. So I'm giving those people a voice. Do you understand?
I get you.
I'm giving those people a voice that someone gets you.
Yeah.
That's what I did. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So for that, we appreciate you. But what I really wanted to find out was what you would advise.
What I would advise
for people who deal with fear of failure, fear of not hitting your potential. Again, like, do you use that as a fuel, or
it's best you use it as if you can, and then sometimes you find even that if you can, it might not be healthy to use that as a fear of failure. Otherwise, everything will keep on scaring that you can lose it at the end of the day. You are setting yourself up for serious imposter syndrome because you might never get to the point where you prove to yourself enough that you've done it. Do you understand? Like, if you have the fear of failure, again, because we typically don't stop to smell the roses, no matter how incredible these results are, and other people will say that they are incredible. So even when we are doing things that is generating billions of dollars in value and impact for people and really being a blessing to people like around us, that might not be enough for us because our mind is, okay, done. What next? That's literally our mind. It's not even a thing that we can help. Do you understand? So it might not even be healthy to keep using that. Do you understand? Yeah. So I'm not going to say that I have the answer. That's even if you can. I'm not going to say that I have the answer to how to use it to use it, but you know how we do in this podcast. If something can help you get to a particular point, leverage it the most positively, the most healthily you can, yeah, to get to that point. Yeah. And if you can't, I don't know, man. Maybe talking about it could help. Sometimes if you need to like do therapy, could help. Sometimes if you need to rethink about certain things in certain ways, like it's mindset. Yeah,
sometimes
it's
I think it might be a lot of self-examination that will be required on your own part. On your own part, yeah. Yeah. Like I'm only able to say these things because I looked at it critically, like, okay, this is how I'm feeling, this is why I'm feeling this way, and yeah, maybe you might not know what to do about it then. But even that awareness, I found personally, it helps. Yeah. Knowing that awareness that okay, this is it. Because again, this podcast is really for people that can't put these feelings into words. Do you understand? The fear of failure or fear of not living up to your potential, it's real. It is. Like one day you feel like, what the hell am I doing? And on that day you're feeling like I'm the shit. But you see, this we just to come in a little bit. So for this podcast, I just want us to consider Gary V and the way he thinks about these kinds of things. I absolutely love the way he always tries to remind everybody that we have time. You have time. You have time. You have time. So that's one of the ways in which the pressure creeps up on us with regards to these fears is the fact that you might be losing time. That, oh yeah, I'm 25, I'm 26, I'm 27, I'm 28, I'm 29, I'm 30. But Gary V goes for, Gary V makes a point that at 30, you've just barely lived a third of your life. You can still go higher. And this is absolutely why I love Grant Cardone, because that's that guy really, I'm happy. So this is the thing, yeah. We can appreciate when we see the success story. Yeah. But what it takes to have lived the life that we count as a lesson now, imagine all he had to go through and reinvent himself at the age that he did. Yeah. It could have been incredibly difficult. Like we will never not a lot of people will appreciate what that experience in the time would be like. Now we see this YouTube superstardom. We see the private jets. We see the watches. We see the helicopters. We see the watches. We see the everything. We see his beautiful family. We see everything. But bro, those 30, 40 years where he was like not there, not put together. Yeah. Like you don't know what that is like in the time of living. That's 40 years old. So there's time. So guys, there is time. That's a huge reminder for all of us. That's a big reminder, man. Like there's time. You can reinvent yourself, man. Yeah. You can choose literally, it's your life. Like, let it sink in, it's your life. You choose what you want to do with your life. If there's something that you're not feeling good about, okay, can I change this? And one more thing, guys, in as much as we say that there is time, it's also important to keep in mind that we don't promote laziness. So you don't say there is time and then use that time unwisely. You want to make sure that you're doing the best that you can with the time that you have available to you, because we could say there is time and you're spending half of that time doing things that are in no way, shape, or form adding value to you. So just to establish that while you have time, you still need to go hard. Yeah. And the thing is, with time and with enough self-awareness and enough self-introspection, you just come to that point where these things dissipate over time. So when you're convinced within yourself that after your self-awareness, that you're convinced within yourself that you can't fail because of the potential that you have in you, because of the potential and your awareness of how much of that potential you are putting out to become what you want for yourself. Yeah, to piggy off what Amara is saying, I think, again, because people like to say, think before you talk, and I understand what they mean, but I also think that you think as you talk.
In fact, talking helps you think because you hear your ideas out loud and you are working through things like, and that definitely helps.
Yeah.
So now, because again, this is still like my experience. Maybe I'm a little further along than some people dealing with this, or maybe I'm not as accomplished as some other people. Like, it's just totally fine. But I think something that I know that kind of gnaws at me or gnawed at me, still gnaws at me, is whether you trust yourself enough to turn that potential to results. That's where it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this goes back to the exercise we told you guys to do then. Build confidence in yourself. Build trust in yourself that you
very
can,
good
because
point.
it's very easy, because not the most talented people typically are not hard workers.
Yeah.
Because they are used to getting things so easily. So they're not used to putting in the work, the minimal amount of work that might be required on average to get things done, because they get things easier. So they're not used to working the minimum required hard work. You understand? That's why you start hearing things about like talent can't beat hard work.
Yeah, all those kinds of things.
But the part of that saying that I love is that if talent works hard, everybody's screwed. I love it. Yeah, it's true.
Yes, absolutely.
It's absolutely true. That's what I love. That's what I look forward to, man. It's like you have all this potential, build that trust in enough. I think that would help.
That would help a lot.
Do you trust yourself to build the confidence to turn that potential into results? Because you mostly feel like you're wasteful. That's it. You mostly feel like you're wasteful. An explanation that I typically use, is the parable of talents from the Bible. And it was essentially a lesson in productivity. They're given 1 talent, another 2 talents, another person 5 talents. And at the end of a time, you have done issue that you're expected to produce results. The person with 5 talents comes back with 5 more. The person with 2 talents comes back with 2 more. The person with 1 talent doesn't come back with anything, because like there was an entire shebang around that. And I tell people that people with potential feel like this. Because it's potential, it almost seems as if they don't have anything to do with it, which is often not true. There must have been some work you put in there to make your starting point a little higher than other people. But you mostly would have forgotten. You'd have forgotten about that work, whatever it was that you did, or some conditioning that gave you that extra leverage. But let's even say the person with potential always feels like the person with 5 as his starting point. But he has only come back with 2 more. He hasn't come back with 5, so he doesn't feel good. She doesn't feel good. If you think about it, the person that brings 5 and produces another 5, and the person that was given 2 and produces 2 more, they both doubled their work.
They're pretty much the same guys.
It's almost the same level of productivity. You 2x'd. Do you understand? There might be nuances as it's easier to 2x2 than to 2x5, but averagely they 2x'd.
That's what said otherwise.
But the person with potential will always feel like the person with 5, but that has only brought 1 back or 2 back. So they're really not going to feel themselves until they can bring 5 back. And the way to do that is to start to build trust and confidence in yourself.
Super important, guys.
You need to build the evidence. You win, like what Amara said, scoring points in favor of the person you want to become.
Absolutely.
You need to build the evidence, because people, we won't kid ourselves. That's the thing. People, they will not kid themselves.
Kill everybody, but you can't kill yourself.
They don't even care about killing everybody, because people just project their thinking onto them because they already see so much potential.
Fair point.
Do you understand? So it's like people are having all these ideas of me because of what you see. But I'm not kidding myself. I know what's going on. I'm not going to lie to myself. Most people with potential will never do. So the thing to do is to start to build the evidence.
Build the evidence.
Build the evidence. Building the evidence gives you the confidence. Literally do that.
I like how you answer the question at the end of the day.
Do you understand? I think that's really it, man. That's really it. Building the evidence will give you the confidence that, I trust myself enough to turn the potential. And please, never you apologize for who you are. Never you apologize for the potential that you have. Whether you remember it or not, there was something you would have done that would work with that potential. Some conditioning you were subjected to, and in some way you produce the potential that you have, you think is your starting point. So never apologize for who you are. Because the moment you start to do that, the moment you start to lower your voice, guys shout, babe shout, talk in the meetings, let them think that you're just, it's not on you. Build your emotional intelligence enough to be able to manage situations like that. But never you lower your voice. never you lower your voice.
Yeah. That was a good one.
It was a good one.
Thank you for sharing that, yeah.
This wasn't how we planned for this podcast to go, man. This is not how we planned for it to go.
Well, as usual, we hope you find one or two things to take away.
Absolutely.
And we hope that this in some way inspires you to push to the next level.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We'll see you in the next one, guys.
We'll see you in the next one, guys. Take care.
Yeah, cheers.
Till next time.